A couple of big home games this past week for the Wisconsin Badgers. A Wednesday night matchup with Northwestern, followed by a Saturday afternoon game against Ohio State. Now it'll be on the road this week for games at Penn State and at Maryland. We'll go through some of the highlights of the week that was. We'll hear from head coach Gard, and we'll also sit down with Badgers senior Aleem Ford. All coming up on today's edition of the Badgers Sports Report.
Trice puts it on the deck. Little hesitation dribble. A bounce to Davison. 13 to shoot. A feed to Trice. He'll try a three. Good. Refeeds Trice. Puts it on the deck. Down the lane to the rim. Layup good. A little blow by there. Dimitric threw the logo to the front court against Washington. Left of the lane. Shakes the dribble. Hooks it to Ford. Open three. Left side. Book it. Aleem Ford. Here's Dimitric front court. Feeds Ford. Steps into the three. Right side. He hit it. Trice hooks a pass to Ford. Another three. Left side. Got it again. Aleem Ford is hot. Ford throwing to Potter up top. Drives on Young. Right lane line. Goes up and in and one. Micah Potter with a chance to earn the three-point play.
The games where we do shoot well in the perimeter is when we pound it inside early and often and get into the free throw line and then playing inside out. And the games where we struggle, we settle for those threes early, and we just need to do a better job of pounding it inside.
I think one of the main things, they got comfortable right away in they're tough shots. They're hitting some tough twos and whatnot. But when they get those, they get going. Then, everything starts falling for them. And, if we're going to win these games, we gotta lock them up defensively, and they just got too comfortable.
5 to shoot. Trice off the wing. Feeds Potter down the lane. Slam dunk. Counted and a foul.
Badgers move from the field house to the Final Four.
Touchdown, Wisconsin. Kendrick Pryor.
Oh! White spot open.
The Badger Sports Report is built by Ford, a proud partner of Wisconsin athletics. By Hy-Vee, where there's a helpful smile in every aisle. Hy-Vee proudly supports the Wisconsin Badgers. And UW Health Sports Medicine, the healthcare team for the Badgers. Learn more at uwsportsmedicine.org.
When you've been injured, you need the hometown team on your side. Trust us to get you back in the game. Call Wisconsin's own Gruber Law Offices, proud partner of Wisconsin Badger Athletics. One call, that's all.
We believe in education. We believe in public schools. At WEA Member Benefits, we believe in helping Wisconsin public school employees and their families achieve their financial goals by providing personal insurance, retirement and investment, and financial planning programs that are designed specifically for the education community. WEAbenefits.com.
Some see a grilled cheese sandwich and ask why. I see a new kitchen with a grill and ask why not.
I really need to start adding less to cart and more to savings.
Sitting on this couch so long made me want to make some changes, starting with this couch.
Yeah, I need a house with a different view. And this is the bank that will help you do it all. Because at U.S. Bank, our people are dedicated to turning your new inspiration into your next pursuit.
Dear Winter, I'm coming. My squad of 15 vehicles with all-wheel drive and four-wheel drive is ready to take you on. Safety's the name of my game, so you better bundle up. Toyota.
Get 0.9% APR for 60 months on a new 2021 RAV4 or lease a new 2021 Highlander Hybrid for $319 a month. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Injured? You need a team you can trust. Call Gruber Law Offices today, serving the people of Wisconsin for over 30 years. Gruber Law Offices, a proud partner of Wisconsin Badger Athletics. One call, that's all.
Oh, good. Micah Potter, the rebound for Wisconsin. Like I said, Northwestern gets it up the floor in a hurry. They don't waste a ton of time. Here's Potter for three up top. Good. Micah Potter not wasting much time either. And he has the first 7 for Wisconsin. To throw to Davison out front. Finds a cutting Davis down the baseline. He'll spike it with the right hand. Jonathan Davis just blasting to the goal. 4 to shoot. Trice with a bounce to Anderson. He'll try a 3 right side. Off the rim, no good. Badgers stay cold. Davis runs it down. What a hustle board. Now Wall for 3. Left of the circle. Book it. Tyler Wall brought to you by Jonathan Davis. Send to Davis and throws to Ford. Bounces the Wall. Low on the left. Wall darts it out to Trice for 3. Right side. Got it. Demetric Trice, his second 3-point hit of the game. 61-47 Wisconsin.
Overall, we did really well. I think on the defensive end was the main importance in the second half. I think we gave up way too many easy buckets in the first half, and I believe he came to the locker room and said they were 8 for 9 in the 2-point field goal range. So that was the emphasis on us in the second half, is getting stops on the defensive end, and we were able to do that.
I feel very comfortable. I feel confident, and it's kind of like my second season running through the offense, knowing what plays, and kind of having that connection with my teammates. So yeah, I feel very comfortable and confident in our offense.
Johnny Davis, I thought, really stepped up first half, and then the rebound and the kick out for Tyler's 3 was huge for us to get some separation. But really watching Northwestern on tape, knew we were going to have our hands full defensively because they could score a lot of points and have put up a lot of points on teams. So just proud of our guys of how they figured out and found a way.
Get ready for more. Introducing Hy-Vee Plus. Get a Hy-Vee Plus premium membership for just $99 a year and get fuel savings every time you shop in-store and online. Plus, exclusive deals and offers every month. Plus, you can call our Red Line hotline day or night for anything you need. Plus, free standard delivery and free express pickup. Plus, a personal online shopper. With Hy-Vee Plus, our plus equals more. Sign up today.
You've heard the saying, if it looks like bacon and it tastes like sausage, it's probably Johnsonville sausage strips. Oh, you never heard that? Well, sausage strips are pretty new. They're strips of sausage in amazing flavors like maple and chorizo. You can find this meaty miracle by the bacon, even though it's sausage.
Whoa.
Well, we're deep enough into the season now. I think we could get a reasonably fair evaluation from head coach Greg Gard and what it's been like to this point in the season. We know there's a lot of adjusting on the run, playing in empty arenas, fake crowd noise, talking through a mask, I should say, offering advice to officials through a mask. And we thought at this point of the year it'd be a good time to check in with the Badgers head coach with all of that. I don't know if you'll ever totally get used to it, Coach, but are we deep enough into the season where you know the drill, and at least the jolt of walking into an empty arena is much less than it might have been the first couple of games of the season?
Yeah, I think we've, not only coaches but players have kind of adjusted and know it's the new normal we're in right now. Obviously it is definitely different. I think we've talked about that before, that home is not as much home as it used to be, and road isn't quite the road that it used to be. So, but I think, given the circumstances, given the cards we've been dealt, I think everybody's handled it well. I think, game management at every place we've been has done a good job. I think the officials, they've been in a hard spot as well with all their testing and protocol and travel they have to do. I think they've done a good job. And overall, I think like I said, given everything that's coming our way, everybody's done a pretty good job to this point. But as always, as I say, in this world, we're as good as the day we're in, and it could all twist and turn in the next 24, 48 hours. So just appreciate and embrace and enjoy every time you get a chance to step on the court and play.
I've heard coaches across the country, at least some coaches, they've talked about how good technology is now with television and boom mics and what all they can pick up. And it's important for, or even listeners for that matter, but for viewers to get a feel for the natural sound. Do you catch yourself having to to dial it down a little bit if you have to vent, just to make sure that some microphone doesn't pick up something you might be saying?
Well, you do. You're always, I think, conscious of that anyway. But I think what I've found that's really different is just the structure and the layout of our bench. I'm typically used to, squatting or kneeling or whatever in front of, those guys that are at there on the bench, and obviously now and really narrate what I'm seeing kind of through my eyes, so they get a picture of what I'm thinking and seeing, and I think that's been helpful for them through the years. But now, sometimes there's nobody there. Or that's an empty chair that they're in the game. So we're so socially distanced at times that it obviously impacts that. It impacts a little bit of, trying to keep in mind who you've got in the game, who you don't have in the game, because we're scattered in a variety of different rows and sections behind our bench. So that's probably been the biggest thing to adjust. It's just the communication that normally is in a smaller confined area now, and we're scattered quite a bit.
We hear, and I think Mike and I have talked about it on our radio broadcast, but we've heard a lot of the television folks talk about the importance of the guys on the bench bringing juice. If it's a home game, a road game, just the enthusiasm, being chatty, supporting their players. Are you a believer in that? Is that a little eyewash, or you think if that's who they are, just go ahead and let it fly?
It's some eyewash, Matt, because, I've referred it to, I've watched a lot of really good pregame football huddles, jump around and smack each other on the helmet and go out and get their butts kicked. So that's a lot of great energy, but you still got to go perform and you got to play. Now, do we want some enthusiasm from the bench? Do we want that? Absolutely. But at the end of the day, it really comes down to what gets done between the lines and all the chatter and the hooting and hollering around it. It lasts for a little bit. I always say in some of the rivalry games and the emotion, that emotion lasts for about 3 trips up and down the floor, and then you got to play the game. So it looks great. It's great, TV coverage and those things when they're talking about those guys jumping around. But at the end of the day, it's about the performance of the guys on the court.
Boy, the one thing it seems like, your opinion is going to mean 1,000 times more than mine, but the quality of play, given the disruptive nature of the summer and camps, but the quality of play seems like it's been really high. The intensity really high. Now, we've talked through the years, and we miss the fans dearly, but team players can feed off of that. But it seems like everything out there is pure. Any emotion of the moment, you draw a charge, you hit a big shot. Are we seeing that right? It seems like it's pretty good stuff we're watching.
It is, and specifically when you're in our league, and I think that's why part of the reason why our league is at the top of the mountain in terms of the best conference in the country is that the quality of play is so high. I mean, regardless, take all the other external motivators, external influences out, meaning crowd, venues, those type of things. It's really about the quality of the play on the floor. And I've said for years that, teams have good home records or have good records because they're good, not because they're motivated by some external force. It's always about what it gets done on the court. And you mentioned that's exactly right. I mean, we're one of the teams that has played really well, but there's a lot of them through our league that really, given what they haven't had, I think it speaks to the experience of the players. It speaks to the quality of the players, the togetherness. We've seen a lot of really good teams, and we have some very good individuals in our league. But I think just the quality and experience and depth of this league shines very, very bright right now.
Yeah, it really has been a treat to watch your team and really everybody across the Big Ten in college basketball, because there has been no shortage of intensity out there on the floor, and still a pretty long way to go here before we get to postseason play in college basketball. So let's enjoy what we're seeing right now. Stay with us. We have more to come as we continue with this week's edition of the Badger Sports Report.
If we build this, all the legendary players will magically appear, and we'll have sports again. I call it the Field of Fame. Of course, I'll have to tear down the garage, fill in the pool, and lose the trees. So can I get a loan?
So as your friend, I love it, but as your banker, not so much.
Let me talk to the friend.
You could always invest in a college fund.
No, my kids aren't going to college. They're going to work at the stadium.
Our kids are going to college.
Sports are back.
My wife wants to build a college.
And not a moment too soon.
Dear Winter, I'm coming. My squad of 15 vehicles with all-wheel drive and four-wheel drive is ready to take you on. Safety's the name of my game, so you better bundle up. Toyota.
Get 0.9% APR for 60 months on a new 2021 RAV4 or lease a new 2021 Highlander Hybrid for $319 a month. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
I always said this through the years, and because it's true, one of the joys of watching this Wisconsin program is watching how players develop in the course of their career. And Aleem Ford certainly is one of many who have developed and become such an integral part of last year's Big Ten championship team, and is a very integral part of this year's team as it chases yet another championship. Fifth-year senior out of Lawrenceville, Georgia, and Aleem joins us now. And it's a stock question, Aleem. I've asked some of your teammates this, so I guess now it's your turn. Just with everything that you've had to deal with, the COVID restrictions and all of that, how's it gone for you personally? How much of a challenge has it been, and how do you think you're dealing with it?
Honestly, I'm just really glad to be here because looking back during May and during early quarantine or whatever you like to call it, we didn't know if this would be possible to get a season together. So, I mean, it's definitely been tough, and there's been challenges just getting comfortable to the way everything is now and the way we do things. When we first got here, we weren't allowed into the locker room. We didn't spend much time together, but it's honestly a blessing just to be able to compete this season, really.
Coach Gard has talked about, because there's a lot of experience on this team, and there are obviously some young guys too, that's helped. And he's always mentioned, and I think other coaches have said the same, that the best teams are player driven. Coach Gard will say things, assistants will say things, but is there a lot of truth in that, Aleem, where you guys amongst yourselves can be honest with each other, say things that need to be said, and that helps you along the way?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we all have had a lot of experience over the years, and it showcases a lot this season, especially this season with it being such a lot of things going on this season. So, I mean, if we've done a great job of it, it helps us, it keeps us together. We've been through a lot of things. We've been through the fire. We've been through the highs. We've been through the lows. So just being able to use that experience, we all have tough skin. We all know how to talk to each other. We've been through everything together, really, as you could say. So it definitely benefits us, and hopefully will continue to benefit us throughout the season.
Yeah, drawing off that, every season stands on its own merits, but what you guys did last year, winning the last 8 games, when I would think a lot of folks outside your locker room maybe counted you out in what you were able to do. What lessons do you think you were able to draw from what you did last year that can help you this year?
I mean, that anything's possible, and if we truly believe as a group we can achieve anything. I mean, because at times during the season, last season, things weren't going well, things weren't looking forward for us, but we stuck together and we controlled what we can control and made the best of our circumstances. So losing one game this year or having a bad game this year, it seems minuscule in the long run, because we know that there is a bigger picture, and if we stick together, we learn from our mistakes and build on it, really. So that's kind of like the biggest thing I would say, that we learn to take our experiences and learn from them.
I mentioned at the top, just watching your growth, your development on the floor has been so much fun to watch. Now, people in my line of work, we will talk about or show your highlights of your offensive work. But people who have really watched you guys play, and you specifically, should be noticing your defensive work as well. Give us, from your perspective, how you think you have grown on the defensive end of the floor here.
I've just learned a lot. The Wisconsin program is kind of built on the defensive end, and you got to take pride on the defensive end. So, from my first year here, from redshirting to getting out there on the floor that first year, you learn with experience. So, the things I do well now on the defensive end, I've made 1,000 mistakes throughout the years. So I just learn from them, and when I do them wrong, and I know I'm going to make mistakes, I learn not to try, or to do my best not to do them again and negate that. And I put in work in the weight room to get my body stronger, to where that isn't a question, which it was when I first got here. So I took pride in that in the weight room, and just the mindset of trying to get stops and let the rest of the game come to me.
We see guys like Tyler Wall, who can be such a disruptor. Jonathan Davis is doing that as well. That said, what are the biggest challenges for a younger player? And I would even throw Micah in there as a newer player. He's been with you guys in games for a little over a year now. What are some of the biggest challenges that you have to understand on the defensive end to be able to play it well here?
Just like they're going to make mistakes. We're not perfect. We have our defensive principles, but there are great players on other teams, so sometimes they're not going to go our ways. But learning to give 100% effort to cover for each other when you make mistakes and do the little things, and that's really what coaches want to see, that you're giving that effort and that you're giving it all on that end, diving on the floor for loose balls. So that's the biggest thing. It's going to waver. It's not just going to be perfect on the defensive end. You're going to have to step up in other aspects. And I feel like they've done a good job of that so far, and they're going to continue to grow.
The thing about you is, and you're probably like everybody on your team, you are always looking to get better. Can't hide anymore, Aleem. Everybody, the media saw you on the floor after the Northwestern game, getting up some shots. I mean, you played so well. You're averaging, about 10 points a game, and you've obviously had some really big games on the offensive end. Do you still, like to this day, it's got to feel right before you leave the gym? We've talked a lot about it after practice. But after a game, you felt like you had to get some things squared away for your own mind before you left the building?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you're not always going to make shots. You're not always going to be lights out from the three or just have that natural feel for the game. And last night I didn't shoot the ball well, so I just knew I couldn't go home and go to bed if I didn't have the right touch that I wanted to feel. And I got some more shots up today after practice just to get that feeling back. And that's really what it's all about, just getting that flow and that feel for the game. And I didn't have that last night, and I wasn't going to go to sleep until I got that back, really.
Well, the one thing we have seen you from a guy who obviously can hit the three, but go back to that Rutgers game and some of your attacks to the rim, showing some strength, some athleticism, nice, nifty reverse layup. I mean, was that something that 19-year-old Aleem might have struggled with, but right now, not so much. You belong. You act like you look like you really know what you're doing out there.
Yeah, for sure.
Take it out on people.
Yeah, it just comes with the flow of the game, and that's just all the work I've put in the summers before, to where when I did that play, it just happens naturally. So that's just paying me the work paying off, really. So just continue to make sure that I put in the time when it's not game time or other times when there aren't cameras in the gym and things like that, to where the game just comes a little bit more natural to me, and you feel the flow of the game better.
One thing that we have noticed, either courtside your home games or watching you from a distance when you're on the road, as much as I think everyone misses the fans, the packed arenas, the intensity of these games seems to be as strong as ever. Are we seeing that right? The emotions are pure. The way you guys get after people in the defensive end, what you're doing all around. Are we seeing that right? Is the intensity as much, if not even more at times, than it's ever been?
I mean, yeah, for sure. I mean, we all got that competitive nature. So regardless, I mean, I wish we did have fans, but regardless if they're fans or not, we just want to get out there and play the game that we love. So, I mean, all the emotions, all the aggressiveness, yelling, screaming, or whatever you see out there is genuine. And we're just out there playing the game we love and competing, really, because we're just thankful to be out there competing this season.
Absolutely. We wish you all the best, and get to the finish line and see if you can raise another trophy when it's all over.
Sir.
That's Aleem Ford. Stay with us. We have more to come as we continue with the Badgers Sports Report.
Because of this, we made Ford Super Duty the most capable heavy-duty pickup ever. Because of this, we built Ford F-150 with 375 horsepower and best-in-class payload.
Rescue 614 en route.
Because of this, we built Ford Ranger with the terrain management system. And because Ford trucks are built for this, you made Ford America's best-selling brand.
We believe in education. We believe in public schools. At WEA Member Benefits, we believe in helping Wisconsin public school employees and their families achieve their financial goals by providing personal insurance, retirement and investment, and financial planning programs that are designed specifically for the education community. WEAbenefits.com.
The Badger Sports Report is built by Ford, a proud partner of Wisconsin athletics. By Hy-Vee, where there's a helpful smile in every aisle. Hy-Vee proudly supports the Wisconsin Badgers. And UW Health Sports Medicine, the healthcare team for the Badgers. Learn more at uwsportsmedicine.org.
Another week on the road coming up for the Wisconsin Badgers. We thank Coach Gard as well as Badgers forward Aleem Ford. We'll talk to you next week. Thanks for watching.
Get ready for more. Introducing Hy-Vee Plus. Get a Hy-Vee Plus premium membership for just $99 a year and get fuel savings every time you shop in-store and online. Plus, exclusive deals and offers every month. Plus, you can call our Red Line hotline day or night for anything you need. Plus, free standard delivery and free express pickup. Plus, a personal online shopper. With Hy-Vee Plus, our plus equals more. Sign up today.
Compeer Financial has always been there for our clients and communities in any situation. And our support continues today as our clients work relentlessly to feed, clothe, and fuel the world. Compeer is proud to continue our strong commitment to our clients, the rural communities where they live, and to agriculture. We're here to help meet the financial needs of rural America. And we'll navigate through this together.
You've heard the saying, if it looks like bacon and it tastes like sausage, it's probably Johnsonville sausage strips. Oh, you never heard that? Well, sausage strips are pretty new. They're strips of sausage in amazing flavors like maple and chorizo. You can find this meaty miracle by the bacon, even though it's sausage.
Whoa.